folks that from our departments and elsewhere, and sometimes give some folks press them a little bit on getting information to us, which is always the fun part. So I just want to say thank you to each of you for all of your support, and often filling in or sitting in when I can't be here or haven't been able to be here. So thank you all so much. And then when Vice Chair vote comes in, or we can wait for the next meeting, be sure to give her a big round of applause and try to get her face hopefully blushing a little bit, so we can celebrate her when she walks in. So with that, welcome to the Arts, Parks, Libraries, and Entertainment Committee. We are calling the meeting to order. I'll go through and call the roll, and then we'll move into public comment. So those who have signed up, we can make sure we'll take you at that moment. So I'll go through. I am present. Councilmember Bradford.
Here.
Cap.
Here.
Eastlick.
Here.
Ewing.
Here.
Hancock. Lee. Stiles. Taylor. Vice Chair Bowe. And Councilmember Welsh.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We have a quorum with 6 members. Did I do the math correctly?
You did.
All right. So I am not on the math committee. Or maybe that's budget and finance. Pursuant to Section 8, 44112 of Tennessee Code Annotated, we are going to observe public comment. We have 1 member of the public signed up. We will have a limit total of 8 minutes, but I think each individual has 2 minutes to speak. Mr. Joe Statter.
Yeah.
Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, it's stellar. But
Stellar, wonderful. Well, we're happy to hear from you.
Good. You got to be from the Bronx to say that. So
I'm far away from the Bronx.
far away from the Bronx. Well, it's not too far different from here. So I do work in the intercity stuff. I've got about 12, 15 intercity Nashville RBI, reviving baseball in the inner city, supported by Major League Baseball. I'm also in the O&E, Organized Neighborhood Edge Hill, King Hollands, and we're trying to switch South Street to King Holland Street. Just met last week. But anyway, right now there's a lot of people that are involved in inner city fields, baseball, football, all kinds of things. It's totally disorganized. There's money going everywhere. There's fields going everywhere. I'm getting bills for $5,000. I talked to King Holland's dad. And Freddie comes over and said, I've never seen you there. I didn't say, I'm on the field, you're not. But anyway, I'm over there coaching and paying for all this stuff. But what we're trying to do is that the kids in the inner city don't have transportation. But they do have parks that are local. So the idea is let's get the kids to play on the local fields, and what they're doing is, for example, Belmont, Edge Hill's gone, et cetera. So what you have is that they're taking these fields and say, oh, gee, these are great to make money, and have the local bar can run it, and they can do frisbee and football and all this stuff. And the priority should be the inner city kids, because kids, if you're in the suburbs, you're paying about $4,000 by the time you get a kid, and you all know this because they got bats and balls and hats and extra gloves. They're driving around and going to Chattanooga and every place. It's about $4,000. And so now we take the kids in the inner city. They don't have anything. So 3:30 to 5:30, and as you probably know, 37208 was ranked the worst in the United States in incarceration. About 1/3 of the kids from 15 to 25 are in jail. It's amazing. So, and that's one of our parks. So there's 7 and Luby over there. So what I'm trying to do is, so I'm in the O&E, and I'm also kids and coaches is kind of the oversight problem that I started at 501(c), and then also chairman of the kids and coaches, the RBI, Nashville RBI. So everybody's involved in it, and it's just a mess. So what we're trying to do is that who is in charge of these resources? Can we put them all together? Can we all meet? Can we say, okay, we're all trying to do the same thing, but maybe but do kind of like an ROI, right? I just retired, but I ran a business. And let's get people, and let's be efficient. Let's see how many fields we can use. These kids, 75% less likely to go to jail, 40% better grades, 40% less likely to be fat and in drugs. Right? So it's a tremendous amount of advantage. And so all I want to do is find somebody in this Parks and Recreation that can coordinate this stuff, because we're fighting everybody, especially Parks and Recreation, and the money, everybody. So all I'm saying is there's somebody here, and you do have some people, and just point them out and just say, let's have a meeting. And I do have some Martha O'Brien people to help. Wonderful.
And Mr. Sal, I know we're over the 2 minutes, but what I'd love you to do, if you could, we do have, I think, an extra, if you'll write down your information, and if you're able to stay a few minutes after, and see who all we can kind of pull folks together and see who. I know we've got somebody from Parks here who manages some of the spaces. So we'll pull some folks together and see kind of the best way internally that we can be helpful to you.
Sure. These are
Real easy to look at. Got a lot of pictures. So,
Thank you so much. And if someone will pass the ink pen down, or Mr. Easlick's going to share, Councilmember Easlick is going to share ink pen. If you will write down your contact information, and then if you can stay a few minutes afterwards. Is that your personal contact information on the back? Wonderful. Thank you so much.
you can ask Terry.
Well, we've got, well, wonderful. We'll just make sure that we connect right afterwards as well. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I know it's a lot to come down, so thank you. And thank you for the work you do in the community. So Mr. Saylor was the only one signed up for public comment. So we will, we'll move on to the resolutions we have on the agenda, but we also have representatives from Arts and Parks, and so at the end of the meeting, what I'd love to do, there's a couple of updates that I think some are positive from the Arts Commission. So if we don't get those addressed during our committee with some of the other responses, if folks have questions, I would love to give Director Batchelder an opportunity to personally update us on a couple of things. And so if you don't mind staying a little bit too. So we'll go through, we've got 5 resolutions. I'll go through one by one unless folks want to entertain a consent agenda. If we'd rather take them separately before I go through.
Consent.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to add all of these items to the consent agenda. You can remove an item after I've read them all. So item number 1, RS 2025-1416, a resolution appropriating $200,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds for Fund Number 30216 to Habitat for Humanity of Greater Nashville to renovate the historic Parkwood Community Club ball fields. Item number 2, RS 2025-1426, a resolution to approve the fiscal year 2026 criteria of the Community Arts Leaders of Nashville internship program for the Metropolitan Nashville Arts Commission. Item number 3, RS 2025-1437, a resolution accepting an in-kind grant from the Friends of Beeman Park to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Parks and Recreation Department for materials to stabilize the carport side porch of the Proctor Barn located in Beeman Park. Item number 4 is 2025-1438, a resolution accepting a grant from the Nashville Parks Foundation to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation for programming improvements to Metropolitan Parks Community Centers. Item number 5, RS 2025-1439, a resolution accepting an in-kind grant from the Friends of Shelby Park and Bottoms to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Rec to fund new equipment for the Shelby County Community Center, including volleyball nets, roller skates, basketballs, and shelving. Are there any items folks want removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, seeing none, asked for. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? All right, I'm hearing none. We'll, all in favor of the consent agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, not voting? Okay. The consent agenda with all of those on it passed 6 in favor, 0 against.
7 in favor.
Oh, 7. Hold on, Vice Chair Vo. I also sung your praises, and I was hoping we would all clap as soon as you came in. But thank you, so we're so excited. I'm so thrilled. So next week, our next meeting, you can come here next week, but the next meeting, we'll be excited that you'll be sitting in this chair. So, of course, you can sit in any chair you like, but this one's got all the stuff.
Appreciate that.
So. But with that, I wanted to ask Interim Director Batchelder, would you come up and give us an update on where we are with the grants? And does anyone have any updates from Kevin, he's not going too far. I think he's going to step outside and talk to Mr. Saylor. So,
I'm sorry.
are you going to step outside and talk to Mr. Saylor?
Yeah, perfect.
You're all over it.
Well, I think his job is special projects.
It's a special project.
Ashley Batchelder, Interim Director of Metro Arts. My update is quite brief, but you might remember last 2 meetings ago, you approved our grant criteria. We had our application period open for the 1-month period. Our deadline was Friday at midnight, and we received an overall combined 23% increase in applications from the last cycle. So the last cycle was a record, so we blew that record way out of the water. We have 106 operating applications and 275 Thrive applications. And so Thrive is where we saw the greatest growth in applications. Last cycle it was 201, which was a record that doubled the previous year. And so we've moved that number up to 275 applications. And so we have a lot of applications that we're reviewing this week for eligibility. And I'll just say, staff, we just review applications for eligibility. We don't evaluate the merits or who's going to be funded. That goes to our panel reviews, which will begin on September the 2nd. So we're just looking at applications for eligibility, and that's where we are right now. And we'll make our funding decisions projected on September the 25th. So that's what people will know soon.
Fantastic. That is fantastic. Councilmember Welsh.
Do you, is there like a general idea of how many of the applications actually don't meet the criterion? Like how many get tossed for not meeting the criterion?
If I just had to predict something, maybe 10 to 15%, but last year was such an anomaly. Those trends last year I don't think are what we'll have this year, because we provided a lot of support as well. During the 1-month application period, my staff did 90 one-on-ones with applicants. Those were just the ones that we got into the tracker, so we talked to way more than that. So hopefully a lot will meet those eligibility criteria, and yeah, I will. I can send y'all a written update. I don't have any legislation coming up, so I won't be here again unless you ask me to be, but I can send you an update in September as well.
Well, our incoming chair may be requesting you to be here,
Sure.
so we'll see what she does,
I'll
or
let
any
you
other
hear.
member, of
Yes.
course. But if you could, continue to keep us updated. I know, rightly so, this is something that the entire community is really looking at, and seeing how those applications advance and if there's deficiencies and what those are. So that'll be wonderful. But that's great news that the word's gotten out and folks have applied.
Yeah.
And
One thing I'll add, a new process that I put in place this year is actually a correction period. So at the beginning of next week, we'll do our criteria review by the end of this week, and starting on Monday morning through Wednesday, close of the night, applicants who have correctable mistakes, maybe the wrong document or maybe the numbers don't add up, they'll actually have an opportunity to
that's
hear those
great.
fixes. So that's something new that we put in place, just with applicant support and access in mind.
That's great. Wonderful. Are there any questions? Yeah.
I just have a quick question about that. Like, I know all the applicants, they're informed and they know that was like part of the application, right?
It's in the guidelines,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Not everything can be
clarifying.
fixed, right? If you are an organization in Murfreesboro, you can't fix that, right? But for those things that can be fixed, that's what we're flagging this week.
Okay. Are there any other questions of Dr. Batchelder on this? All right, thank you so much. Excited to hear that, and excited to hear about the next as well. So is there anything else before the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right.
Position.
Boo.